always hating? Please tell me why you always hating. Please tell me why you always hating. Please tell me why you always hating.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIA-DMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California,
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round. As it's time to win, we're getting an early start on the offseason. It's the Packers going up against the Cardinals. So with that, let's get you out to the stadium. Standing by tonight are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It hosted Super Bowls 42 and 49. And it's University of Phoenix Stadium. That's where we're at in Glendale, Arizona. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. They come up in an offset eye.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Dale Buchanan was drafted as a safety, but makes many of his plays as a linebacker in their scheme.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
This will be fielded at the 17. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And they'll go on the ground. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Down the numbers. There he goes. 20. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Wild card round game, and you come out early, get the first score. That can be huge.
Wild card game, but no wild play on this first drive. Well executed, lots of precision, lots of sharpness.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now back to throw. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a handoff looking right, and he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
That's what love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Barton, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
All right, now look at 56. Look at
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Down to the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now let's go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And able to find John Brown. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Uses the stiff arm. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Their dangerous wide receiver from 8 yards out. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. And he knocks it through. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Now he'll look to throw here. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Cameron Meredith, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now let's go. 3-19. Leopard.
And he motions the wide receiver. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And it's a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So 2nd and 10 here. And they'll run it here. And some room to work. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you got to have these guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice. But here, you get back on even terms. And now you've got the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss. And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the 1st down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
Now the Packers get set to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And this is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up a throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from taking the rock that much.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He finds his target, John Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And quickly they get to the line. He'll look to throw. That is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Cameron Meredith, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cardinals have broken the tie. Boswell for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daquan Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
And the Cardinals, they trot out their dime package for third down. Now back in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to just run.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's third down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Second down following the run.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game, so when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a 1st down.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down in bounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet, not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Can't find anyone open. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy, because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Green 39! Green 39!
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit! Check 31, check 31. Now let's go. Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Uses his stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Cardinals a 1st down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Now the ball comes loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Green 39.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Now the offense in that middle ground here on third down, 3rd and 5.
Watch it now, Barney.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to